Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Monday, so we're here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. And I'm here with my friend, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, who is also my partner here at Biz Chicks. And I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups. We're the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax, and let's get this party started. How's everybody this morning? How you doing, Fran?
I'm doing well. How's everyone else? I think you all are doing well.
All is
We,
well.
yeah, all is well. And today we are going to be talking about being uncomfortable with chaos. Okay,
Okay.
I'm just going to let that settle in. Get uncomfortable with chaos. Um, the thought of the morning, we do a call every morning, and the thought on the call this morning was, are we comfortable with chaos? Are we
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with things being out of order? You know, light bulb
Mm-hmm.
needs to be changed, and
Little
you
stuff.
just little stuff that you are uncomfortable. You're comfortable with it. You've gotten comfortable with the purse that's piled in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Comfortable with that the scissors are broken, but you never did anything, throw it away or do something about them.
Mm-hmm.
Get some new ones. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, Jerry. I like your
Alex,
backdrop.
Al is in the house. He says he's starting distance learning with his children. He says, I thrive in my chaos as long as it's organized. Yes, Al. We hear
That's
you.
that is what we're talking about,
That's
having organized.
because it's going to be in with all of the changes that are going on. There's going to be a certain degree of chaos. But what we're saying is, are you getting comfortable with the unnecessary chaos, the stuff that you've just been putting up with? I know that it's been a while, and what I've done is I've gotten very comfortable with just letting stuff pile up in my office. I mean, the mail is out of control. Okay. I have to sit down, discipline myself, and get rid of that chaos because whether or not I'm aware of it or not, friend, I know it's affecting my ability to focus. It's that little nagging thing over there, like, when you gonna get to me? When you gonna get to when you gonna shred me? When you gonna shred me?
And yes, shredding, stuff piled up in the garage that needs to go. All you got to do is call the people, call the hauler, do something, but it's just sitting there, and it's just talking to you, like you said. And we're comfortable with just the stuff just hanging out over there. Oh, I'll get to that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll get to that. Okay, how about, and Al probably can relate to this, all those wires and Cat 5
Well,
cables when Cat 5 is no longer a thing?
I have no idea what that means.
Cables for stuff that doesn't even
Oh, exist anymore.
the no. Oh, I
The
can use that for something.
I have a container of wires because I'm feeling like, well, I don't know. So if someone asks me for the right cable, I'll have it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and the devices we have now do not run on those cables.
None of them use those cords.
And I'm
Even
like,
remember when they strung the cord through your house to set up the cable? I've got that cord wound up somewhere. Wound up somewhere in a closet. I'm sure I do.
and it's taking up space. Okay, how about this? How about all of those yellow folders, manila
Oh,
folders?
uh-huh.
When's the last time you actually used the manila folders because you got all these files in your house, and I was going to try and pull out a manila folder. Uh, Manila folders.
Mm-hmm.
They're all brand new and crispy, and we don't use paper. I mean, you can use them to file your bills and stuff, but don't you snap a picture of your bill and then file it digitally now?
Well, that would make sense. I just shred my bills because they're all online.
And they send them to you electronically. I'm just saying there are some things that we have gotten accustomed to having around, like when they ship stuff to you and you keep the box forever. Oh, I might have to send it back, so I'm gonna keep this box. Now you got boxes stacked in the garage.
Girl, I remember when I bought that projection television, and they said if you lose this box and you have to return it, this box will cost you $500. How many of us stored that box till we got rid of the TV? Because of the threat.
You don't have to pay for that. I was like, oh my gosh. So there's stuff hanging around. Hey Jerry, good morning. There's stuff hanging around, and we're just comfortable with it just being, like the spiders have created a little home over here in my window. I was like, oh, see, now I have to get in here and swipe the whole thing. Right. And it's all.
There's like when I go out into my patio, I have spider webs on the gate. I mean, it's like, what is going, because I don't use the patio that often. So, and I don't use my front gate as quiet as it's kept because I come in through the garage. So when I walk people out, I'm like, oh my God, look at this. It's so embarrassing.
So today we are talking about, are you comfortable with chaos? Are you just comfortable with stuff being around? We love organization. We love to see organization in somebody else. You know how you go to the model homes?
Oh, that's just gorgeous.
And you just go in and everything is pristine. There's nothing out of place. There's, the coffee maker is over there, and the everything is just wiped down and everything is pristine. Your house can be that way too.
And have you noticed that they don't have a lot of dishes in those homes? They don't have a lot of dishes. They have a set of 4, maybe.
Hey, Brenna, good morning.
Hi, how you doing? It's good to see you.
We love to see order all around us. We see order with the people, like we just talked about in the model homes. Everything is in order. Not a stitch out of place.
Even the children's rooms, the bedding is perfect. There's nothing that's not put away. They might have a toy on the bed or a picture on the dresser.
But we are attracted to the order. We feel peace and calm when there's order. Now, Brenna, correct me if I'm wrong here, but we can have that order too. Brenna has to be ordered. Yes, nobody lives in a model home. However, you can have your stuff in order. If Brenna lives a very ordered life.
Brenna says,
nobody in the model home. So you have everything in order for what you have to do. So now, is everything in order for what you have to do? And like sometimes, no, the laundry is going to pile up because laundry day is Tuesday and today is Monday. So you just don't need to look at the laundry till tomorrow. But now if it piles up after Tuesday and it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, now it's back to Monday and it's overflowing because you didn't touch it on Tuesday, then that's a different story.
So what I hear you saying is that chaos can be circumvented by a routine and a schedule.
Yes. And it
So,
doesn't have to get chaotic.
mhm,
It really doesn't have to be that way. Like I've mentioned purses in a chair. I'm watching them looking at these purses in a chair
mhm.
because
I
I
don't.
haven't had time to. I normally have a purse that goes with an outfit.
Mhm.
Well, since I'm not going to blame it on COVID, but when COVID hit, I wasn't too concerned about purses and outfits
Our
and
priorities changed.
right. But these purses are still looking at me
I hear you.
in this chair.
I hear you. And I think that that is the sneaky thing about chaos is that when we have a disruption, it impacts a lot of little things in our life that become big.
Right. And I was like, okay, I'm just
I was talking this morning about my countertops when you were talking about the model home. The sneaky stuff is, oh, I'll just put it over here. You know, like when my granddaughter comes, she's starting to walk now and pull down things. And okay, so now it's just just snatch it away from the baby and put it over. So much stuff was on that counter by the time she left. I was just like, this is chaos. This is crazy up in here. Okay.
and isn't that true when someone else brings the chaos into your environment?
And so you have to you call yourself managing the chaos, but you never get back to it. Now we got a comment here. Let's see what Brenna's saying. Oh, don't come see my space. I love order and function though. Having things in place that I can find is less work. It definitely is.
Yes,
And we're feeling you, Brenna. We're talking about the exact same thing. You
that's
know,
what we're talking about. So Brenna, her company that she works with that provides stuff for your home, I find that it makes me keeping my stuff in order better. You
mhm,
have to have the right tools to maintain order.
mhm,
I
mhm,
shall say that again. You need to have the right tools to maintain order.
mhm.
I need good tools. I don't need stuff that's going to break down. And so I ordered some stuff from Brenna for mopping the floors, for getting dust and reaching
That's
stuff,
cool. Oh my gosh.
and 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 for the laundry.
Mhm.
Thank you, Brenna, for introducing me to that uh, powder because it I'm not using a whole bunch of it, and
Mhm.
I mean it lasts. It's very economical, but I can maintain the order
Yes.
without toxicity in my house.
Mhm. Mhm.
So so now I can put together a routine for house cleaning when you don't have a housekeeper.
Well, I'm telling you, as soon as this is over, I'm getting one. I am not doing this. I don't
Are you
like
going?
doing it.
Are you mean getting a housekeeper?
Yes.
You can still get one even now. They need to be girded up.
Because I'm just like, I don't like this. Let's see what Claudia's saying. Claudia's saying, I can't stand disorganized chaos. The first
Thank
thing
you.
I ever done was to get a storage unit for my catering supplies. Even the facility manager mentioned I'm the only one that has had their unit staged. My days are crazy when I'm at an event, but everything goes right back where it belongs afterwards. I know that gives you real peace of mind.
See, I'm liking that
Mm-hmm.
because that whole piece, when you
Mm-hmm.
have to go, I know I bought something and now I can't find it, and now you're running around. Uh,
How many Scotch tape dispensers do we have in our house?
Screwdrivers, drills. You keep buying stuff because we don't put it back.
Oh, Lakeisha says you can get a housekeeper. Let me put this up. And she said exactly what you just said. They come masked up. You can have a housekeeper now. They come masked up. I didn't know that. We're going to talk about that because I'm like, I am so done. Okay. Claudia says now I have to figure out to get rid of my disc. Okay. All right. We love you, Claudia.
What did you say?
She got to figure out how to get rid of her disorganized husband. Okay, keep it
Well,
going.
you have to work that into the system. They're gonna be disorganized, so we get a housekeeper because you are disorganized.
That's a time saver.
Right.
How you doing, Maureen?
Hey, Maureen.
So good to have you in the conversation. We're talking about are you comfortable with chaos? Because it sort of creeps up on you. It's like, because to me, chaos is clutter. You know what I mean? And so clutter is gradual. And then the next thing you look over and say, is this really looking like this? You know what I mean?
So yeah, so I'm like, I'm looking for something, Terry, because we got the second part of the show. We're going to be doing something else, but I wanted to find this. So, what are you doing about changing the chaos? I mean, because yes, it could be.
Okay. Now, Maureen says her husband buys in threes. So does that help with the chaos? Because you know where everything is. Oh, she must be talking about the tape. I was talking about those tape dispensers. That when the grandkids come over, it's like I can never find the tape dispensers. Everybody, even though I have a place where they're supposed to go. So
you got a place for it to go, but you don't know where.
Why does it not go back where it lives? If I don't monitor that, then I pick it up and I put it somewhere else just to get it out of my way. The little things, the little sneaky things we do, all under the guise of expediency.
Right.
We know it doesn't live there
because because we don't have a routine for putting stuff back.
Okay, like we did when they were little, cleanup time, huh? Cleanup time. Mm-hmm.
Like we were in school, yeah, because you were teaching kids how to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Lisa. With the daycare. Have you opened your daycare yet, Lisa?
So I'm not ignoring you all. I'm just getting us ready for our next segment.
Yes. So tell me, what sneaky pieces of chaos have creeped into your lives, guys? I'm like, yesterday I had a lamp that I picked up and it was actually broke. And I've been threatening to glue this lamp since 1954 because I love the lamp. But it'll function without the glue. But, come on. Oh, you did open? Good. I'm glad you opened, Lisa. We'll have to hear more about that. Because I'm sure there are people looking for daycare right now. Lakeisha says, listen, I want to be organized and I put everything away. And now I know where nothing is. Did you label it, girl, label it. So I end up buying things over again and I already have it. So I need to label. Yes, everybody's brain is not the same. Please be kind. I'm feeling you. Thank you so much because I need compassion. I'm a crafter. And so, you get all these little things, bits and pieces when you craft, all of which are usable for the future. And so it's like, where is that color vinyl? Where is that? I know I bought this and it's very expensive. Supplies can be expensive. And it's like, where is that particular color? The customer wants that color. And girl, training the brain to put it where it belongs. And then because you're not used to putting it away in a specific place, to remember where you put it. I'm feeling you on that. I really, really am. My goodness. Because if I open the closet behind these curtains, y'all be like, what? Okay. So I am gradually going through there right now to organize each section again, because during this time I have not crafted the way I did in the past. So I'm not used to going in there and knowing where things are. And so, like like Lakeisha says, I have to get it together again. And this time, I will label. Okay, and Jerry says, "Me too." You have those little bits and pieces, because I know you sew too, Jerry. So it's like, okay, where is that particular thread? Where is that? You know, we can find the big stuff like the elastic and the and and whatever particular fabric we were sewing on, in the last couple of weeks. But when you start digging deep, yes, we need Claudia to come over and help us organize more than just our refrigerators and our pantries. We need some help. Okay, let's see what Maureen is saying. Maureen says my house would be organized if I can get my husband to not buy things.
Nope.
Okay.
And see, that might have to be something worked out where whatever you buy, here's your space over here.
Exactly. Yes, to come to some kind of
Let
agreement.
his stuff be in his space, and it can be unorganized. Here is your realm,
Hmm.
and be okay with his realm being disorganized.
Oh, she says yesterday she organized her closet. Good for you, Maureen. You know, it's just something I need to do, and I need to not try to do all of it at one time. I think that's when we really get overwhelmed. Okay,
Right.
now Brenda says I labeled it "Save Me the Anxiety." The anxiety. See, somebody should have told me that when I was cleaning it up in the first place. I called myself labeling it, but evidently I didn't do a thorough job. So I have these little bits and pieces of chaos. Also, I found that, and I don't know if it's because of being home so much, that I tend not to put things away. Like you just why? When you seems like I know I have more time, not less time, but for some reason I'm less organized and I don't know what happened. I don't know if my brain just said, it's not a priority right now, just being safe is a priority. I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
know, but it is important, because if I don't do it, I know that I'm buying into the chaos. I'm
Ah,
getting comfortable and I'm making room for more chaos. Because, if something's on the counter, then something else is going to come visit. It's like money in your wallet. If you have money in your wallet, it tends to attract more money and you tend to keep more money in there. Well, if you got clutter on the counter, it says, come on, friends. There's plenty of room. There's a party over here. Go on the counter. And the next thing you know, you got a counter full of stuff. Let's see. Lakeisha says some things are hard to label too. Thank you. She is so compassionate. I love you, Lakeisha. just things. It's just things I need. Laugh out loud. Okay. I really appreciate your empathy, because I think that's part of the reason why things are going the way they're going, because I'm trying to be gentle on myself because of the seclusion, not to get cabin fever as a result of but I did start the other day by cleaning out my fabrics. I actually organized them and put them in and resorted them, is what I'm going to say. Resorted them so that I could toss some things that are no longer needed, or they're past the season. Um, so, and Brenna says, I still have clutter. I think we all do, Brenna, to a degree. Uh, and so I'm not saying that we need to get, that we'll all get to the point where our homes are just staged like a model home, but there are some things that we can purge or that we can organize so that the chaos is no longer chaotic. Because that's not to say that the things that we have um, sitting around are not needed. They're there because we're using them at one point or another. So I don't know. The fact that they're not organized makes them appear to be clutter. You know what I mean? But
Right.
but we have those things in our lives because we do need them. You need to know where the pencil is when it's time to take a note. You need to know where the scotch tape is. You need to know where the band-aid is. You know what I mean? You need to know where whatever it is you're looking for, the vitamins, the Tylenol, whatever's sitting up out on that counter needs to have a home and a place in our mind where we go to source it out. And then we need to put it back. So maybe we need like a 3-second rule. If it takes 3 seconds to just go from here to there, maybe we need to make that okay. I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So that the second, so it doesn't build up into just a row of stuff. I know at
True.
one point I had a condition and it required me to take Tylenol or um, different things, and I had them all lined up on the kitchen counter because I couldn't at the time. I had a challenge reaching over my head, which is where I keep what I need. So I looked over and I said, "Oh, y'all live here now." Because they've been there so long, but the condition is over, so they need to go back home. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, I hadn't taken the time to. Francine mentioned this morning about the chaos. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize y'all had just got squatters
taking up
right.
room.
Yeah, they got squatters rights over there on the kitchen counter. I'm like, okay, you know what? You can go home now. Okay. So I did escort them home. Let's see what Maureen is saying. She said, I'm trying hard to not take plastic or paper bags. Uh, I don't have a cupboard full of paper bags. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? And maybe what we should do is if we're reusing them because we live in California, um, and we have to bring our own bags to the supermarket. And lately, they have not allowed you to do that because of what's going on with the pandemic. And okay, so you're in here. How you doing, friend?
I'm in here twice. I'm coming out. I don't know how I got in there twice,
No
but
problem. And then she says, I purged my closet to be able to fit my sewing stuff that's been laying along the wall for 8 years. Well done, Brenna. I'm feeling you on that. And it's just amazing how much time can go by before we notice that, oh, I actually have space to put this somewhere because I'm really not using it. And then Claudia says, I have taken, oh, Marie Kondo's inspiration. If an item doesn't spirit love, I just get rid of it. Oh my gosh. I love you, Claudia. So the husband asks why my 500 pairs of shoes always inspires love and nothing else does because you can't seem to ever get rid of them. So she got, okay, so we got a shoe thing going there. But the question is, have you made room for that chaos? Carly
yeah.
says, you saw your project and it's awesome.
I can't share screen from here.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking to see if I could share that video. For some reason, I couldn't log in
Okay.
to what I was looking for. For the video, it's not allowing me to. Let me see if it's doing it.
What we watched last week.
Yeah, but it's the second installment, but the site is not coming up.
Okay.
I can see it on the app, but not on the site.
Interesting.
Very.
Yeah, Brenda, we are always proud when we make progress, and I'm excited for you. And You are now my shero when it when it comes to getting your sewing stuff together. I'll have to check it out.
Let me see if I can do it this way.
Okay.
Anyway, we're having fun, people. I'm determined to.
Our tech team is working over there. You know, last week we were talking about a specific subject, and we started watching a video, and so she's trying to get part two. For those of you who wanted to see part two, because we promised you part two on the following Monday, which is now today. Okay. And if we don't get that together, then we will show it next Monday. We'll find it and we will make it happen.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if it's something with your website or what, but I was like,
yes. So creepy things, little things that get in there and create chaos. And chaos is not something we want to get comfortable with. Don't take the chaos on a date. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So if you have chaos in your life, we want you to recognize it. Start with the little stuff. Get rid of the little stuff. And it'll give you peace of mind. Peace of mind. Organization saves you time and gives you peace of mind. Oh, that rhymes. Okay. So
I found what I was looking for. So
can you make that happen for us?
yeah, now I can. I had to go into a different way.
All
I was
right.
like, why is this being funny? Okay. Shall we? Are we ready to
You
roll?
want to introduce it real quick?
Sure. So I found this teaching, or what do we call it?
Training.
Training. I found this training a while back. I need to get out of here, log myself out of here. I can't kick myself out. That is
Oh, I can
interesting.
kick you out.
On the other one, the second one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? It won't let me kick you out.
Okay, never mind. I'll just close this. Okay,
Mhm.
so I can still hear it talking to me.
Oh, really?
So it was yeah, I'm hearing it, and I have the volume all the way down.
And it's muted. Interesting. Go ahead.
It's
We can't hear it.
about finish. We
Mhm.
were talking about finishing, and it struck. Why do people not finish their projects?
Mhm.
Why do we not finish something to completion? We talked about those 10, your top 10 list for 2020. Where are we with that? So when I heard this gentleman talk about finishing, I thought,
Mhm.
wow. And I took some steps to finish. So the people who were here last week, did you write down the 4 things he asked us to write down? Yes, can we put a 1 in the chat if you were here last week and you did your homework?
Do we remember what they were?
Yeah, because I wrote mine down.
Okay.
I did. I really did write mine down. A goal has 4 main parts. Did you write down those 4 main parts? Now I could play 1 and 2 again, but see, this is what happens. We get information, but we don't immediately apply it. And if you don't immediately apply something, Jerry did hers. All right, Jerry. Woo!
Claudia did hers.
Lakeisha and Claudia. Yay. Okay.
Good
I
job,
forgot
lady.
there's a delay.
She took a screenshot. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. So there was 4 main parts, and you were supposed to do your goal. And how did that work out for you all? Before I play video number 2. Did it help you think about your goals? The first part of the goal is being, what is the result that you wanted?
Mm-hmm.
What were you looking to get accomplished, right? The second
Mm-hmm.
part was the timeline. Shrink the year, shrink it so that the timeline is manageable and not overwhelming for you. Like if you were going to run 1,000 miles in a year, you don't, that it seems like, oh my God. But if you broke that down to 20 miles a week or 20 miles a month, then when you hit 5 miles, you're like, yeah, I can do this. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
down the timeline, shrinking the year. And then what actions will you take? Actual actions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some new gym clothes. I'm gonna go. I want to run. My shoes is raggedy. I have no tennis shoes. You really are not really wanting to run because you don't have the shoes to do. You don't have the tools.
Mm-hmm.
If my goal was to run 1,000 miles, well, I think I need to have some shoes. I need to have the right clothing to do it. I need to have all the right equipment to make that happen. And then what's your motivation? What is going to help you stick with that goal? Because the goal is actually a promise that you're keeping to yourself or to others. So what are you going to do to maintain that goal? What's going to help you maintain the goal? Because if the goal wasn't yours in the first place, you're not going to stick with it. Brenna says she used to offer organizing help, and she clean out spaces and reorganize of your choice for a fee. You should, if you like doing that, Brenna, I think you should do it because people would hire you.
Okay, people are looking for help.
So we're going to get into the second part of the video. I know we're still dealing with a delay because I asked a question about. We went over the different components just now, the 4 different components of a goal, and what action steps did you take or are you taking? Did you write down your action step? Did you get clear on the results that you wanted? Because remember, he talked about, the result not being wide, and he started out wide and then came in narrow, right?
Okay.
By
shrinking it.
No, starting out wide with the big goal. And if you sat down at dinner and told somebody what you're trying to do, look, I'm looking to get myself back in shape and get healthy again. That's the goal. So what is that goal in a smaller? I want to be healthy, fit, and trim. That's the goal. Brenna says it was when I was saving for the wheelchair van posted on Nextdoor back then. Okay, so she did some concrete things to get to that goal.
And Jerry says she makes a daily plan.
Right. So we talked about the results. What are the results that you're looking for? That's your goal. And for me, healthy, fit, and trim. Timeline, I need to shrink the year. If I got to lose 100 pounds, say, I'm not going to try and do it in 30 days. I need to shrink the goal. What is the goal? And maybe do 5 pounds a month or whatever it is to shrink the goal, and understand that it might be a year, or for this year, what is the goal? Not trying to do really, really fast. Actions, what actions will I take? I'm going to eat less and I'm going to move more. That means I'm going to have a daily plan to ride a bike, take a walk, go swimming, do something. I have an actual routine that I need to follow in that area. And then what's my motivation? I've got stuff to finish. I've got an assignment to finish. I've got things to do, and I can't do it if my body is broken and my body is not fit. I won't be able to do it. I will have mobility all the days of my life. That is my motivation. And so if I don't want to be being pushed around, or if I don't want to, if I want to be able to care for myself, then
Be
I'm going to need,
physically independent.
yeah, if I want to remain independent, I'm going to need to do some stuff now and not wait until you have to start from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going on to the second part of the video. Everybody ready for the second part? Thumbs up in the chat, or one or two. Two in the chat. We're ready to go for the next part of the chat for this. Ready?
Yeah, put a 2 in for part 2.
Two for part 2. Love it. So I am going to set this up. I have to do screen share, share the screen. Da, 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 da. Chrome tab. And
Maureen says she's off running while she's listening to us.
okay,
and she's doing her goals.
very good. So I am going to share the screen now, and I'm going to pick number 2. I just logged in. I was logged in just now. Welcome. Hold on, everybody. I think I was logged in.
Brenda says she's in.
Okay. Let me keep talking, Terry, because I was logged in, and now I'm not logged in.
I'm like, we're almost to the hour, too.
That's okay. I want to get this done because this is work.
Everybody's putting these 2s in. They want to see part 2, girl.
No, and then I was logged in, and now it's not letting me log back in. I'm like,
are you kidding me?
I was just logged in whatever I had done. Okay, here we go. Let me just push the button.
Yes.
Oh, they won't let you watch the second one if you're not logged in. That's what that is.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I just saw something. Sorry, everybody.
Okay. So my question to you guys is, what are you doing? What goal did you set? I would be curious to know what goals you actually set. Since we love you, you can do we love you. You can do it. You can do it, Fred. They said.
Yeah.
Oh, you can make this happen. God is good. Yeah. I think one of my goals, seriously, is I looked at the clutter this weekend and I just started working on it. And then we had the talk this morning. I was like, yeah, I'm really motivated now. And I looked over there and saw what stuff was living on my counter. I'm like, yeah. So my goal is to, if it takes 20 seconds, to just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? When I see something that needs to go somewhere to live in a different place, or time to put it back, if it takes less than 20 seconds, I'm going to commit to get that done, because eventually it will help me declutter.
Right.
And one of my goals for today is to see the top of my kitchen counters, because stuff started living there. Now, Jerry's goal she says is to complete one sewing task each day. Well done, Jerry. And then Brenna says, it's so smoky, Maureen, all those chemicals from the houses and cars that have burned, like battery acid and fiberglass. It stays in the air and is full of toxins. Be careful, please. Yeah, I haven't walked since the fires started, and I was walking every day at 4 a.m. I'm just, I'm going to walk in my house. I take that back. I have walked, but what I mean is taking my normal daily walk for an hour. So I have an app that says Walk at Home, and I use that particular app. Claudia says, I've set a goal to foster self-care. I love it. Let's see. I realize I don't take time for myself. That includes getting back into a routine. Yeah. Yeah, I think so because we tend to sometimes self-care meant we went out and got something done for us, like a pedicure or we got our hair done or we got,
Oh,
just
I'm
cosmetic.
ready.
Okay, let's go. Let's run it. Not to mention older homes before building codes. Okay. Yeah, Brenda, be
Oh
careful.
my gosh, what happened to my thing? I was like, I know I did this.
Share. Okay, here we go.
Okay. All right.
Now, do we share the? There we go. Great.
In session one, we looked at the 4 parts of a goal. We looked at the results. We looked at the timeline. We looked at the actions. And we looked at the motivation. Today, I want to teach you an important lesson that applies to all 4 of those parts. Today, I want to teach you how to get the size right. You see, most people have a really hard time figuring out the size of what they're going to do. I see this sometimes with fitness goals. I'll meet people and they'll say, John, I'm going to start running. And I'll go, that's great. Good for you. And they'll say, yeah, I'm going to do a marathon. And I'll pause and I'll say, have you ever done a half marathon? Have you ever done a 10K or a 5K? You know what? Even just a K. You ever done a K? Get a tiny little medal. And they go, no, I heard an Eminem song, Mom's Spaghetti. I'm going to lose myself. I'm going for it. I'm going to get a carbon fiber bike, wear tight clothing, so much information. I'm going to Kona this weekend. Going to do the Ironman in like a day and a half. And I always think, I don't know that that's going to be sustainable. And part of the reason this happens is what's called planning fallacy. And planning fallacy is the belief you can get more done in less time. And you see this in certain industries. Sometimes you see it in the construction industry. My wife, Jenny, and I are renovating our house. And part of the reason we're renovating is that you have a small house when people give you compliments like this. I love your house. It's so charming. I love how cozy your house is. I like how both walls touch my arms when I'm walking down the hall. It's like your house is giving me a big hug. And we're renovating it. And sometimes that's demoralizing because it seems so easy in renovation shows, doesn't it? It takes like 22 minutes and then boom, shiplap, Chip and Joanna. Or you watch these renovation shows or home buying shows like International House Hunters. Have you ever seen that show? That show will make you hate the couple on it and your own house. Because it's always like 2 24-year-olds and they're shopping for a bonus house in Florence, Italy. And the husband writes poetry for a living and their budget is $19 million. And they're always saying things like, I like the rooftop deck, but it doesn't show enough of the Duomo. And you look at your own house and they're like, stupid own house. We don't have any rooftop deck. And all my friends have really amazing kitchens. Like they have kitchens with the cabinets all closed completely. Can you imagine? Like all of our cabinets are slightly open. They're puckered open like relaxed fit jeans. And my friends have those drawers that self-shut. Have you ever experienced that? You go to shut the drawer and the drawer's like, hey, whoa, I'll take it on home. Go about your day. You're busy. I'll take it on home. And you think, thanks, drawer. And so we're renovating. And sometimes construction crews don't want to disappoint you up front. So they overestimate and they disappoint you in the middle. So you sit down, you say, hey, how long will this new roof take? They go, new roof. Okay, we're going to do everything. Maybe like 8 or 9 minutes. And you think, that's amazing. A whole new roof in 9 minutes? Sign me up. And then 4 months later, when you've still got a gigantic hole in your roof and a blue tarp that's flapping in the wind like Celine Dion's dress, you say, hey, could we finish the project? That's planning fallacy. They came out of the gate too strong, and that happens with our goals too. It happens with our fitness goals. I once asked a cashier at a grocery store, hey, when do people quit their diets? And she said, 3rd week of January. And I said, how do you know that? She said, that's when we stop selling kale. And I get it. I'm not shaming you. Kale tastes like wet sadness. We're eating a lot of kale chips at the Acuff House right now. And a kale chip tastes exactly like a regular chip if you've never tasted a regular chip. A kale chip tastes like you lit a novel on fire and then ate the burnt pages. And as a parent, you have to pretend it's not gross because your kids turn to look at you like, should I be disgusted by this? And you have to fake it and be like, oh, the pear really covers up the cinder taste. The balsamic hides the ash in my mouth. But I get it. The first 3 weeks of January, you're crushing a fitness goal, but then you go to the Super Bowl and you go, it's the Super Bowl. I gotta eat dip. And then a couple weeks later, like, it's Valentine's Day. That's for chocolate. And then a couple months later, you're just like, it's Flag Day. That's for burritos. And you keep stretching it out. And it gets hard to keep that goal. And so I wanted to study that because I had this theory that most of us are terrible at estimating what we can get done and how long it's going to take us. I had this theory and I wanted to test it with real people and real goals. So I went to them, all the people in the research study, and said, hey, cut your goal in half. In the middle of the project, in the middle of the test, I said, hey, cut your goal in half and let's see what happens. And here's what happened. People who cut their goal in half were 63% more successful. Now I need to hit pause right here very quickly. That's not prescriptive. Don't hear me saying, okay, so the secret to finishing a big goal is have something massive, have it be crazy, have it be foolishly large, and then in the middle of it, cut the whole thing in half and voila, you'll be successful. Can you imagine me ever walking into my publisher and going, hey, I know you wanted me to sell 100,000 copies of the book, but I'm just going to do like 50,000. So thanks. I'm a public speaker. I get to travel the world helping companies like Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, Walmart, Comedy Central figure out their goals, figure out how to finish, figure out how to navigate change. And if I put a slide in my presentation that says, people who cut their goals in half were 63% more successful, and I send them that slide without talking to them first, they call me up and say, hey, you know that terrible slide that tells people to sell half as many products, that tells our sales team to sell half as many items? Could you take that out? And I had to say, whoa, no. That's not me saying that's what you should do. That's just me giving you an indication of how bad people usually are at figuring out the size of what they should do at the very beginning. That's me just saying to you right now in session 2, hey, before we get too far in, before we go all the way down the path, let's make sure that we've got the size right. Now, there's some good news with this. Most companies are great at 2 of those parts. They're great at the results and they're great at the timeline. Most companies I work with don't make up goals out of thin air. They don't go, we think we're just going to double our sales because miracles. If your company right now has a plan that requires multiple miracles, that's not a plan. That's a wish. And wishes usually don't come true at the end of the year. Now, the good news, again, is that most companies don't do that. They say, we have data. We have analysis. We looked at last year's sales. We looked at our growth. We looked at our market. We looked at 15 different factors to decide, okay, these are the 2 things we think we can commit to. The size of the timeline and the size of the results are based in reality, which is good for us because guess what? That means we get to focus on the 2 parts of a goal that we have the most control over, our actions and our motivation. Now, the challenge with that is that most people tend to believe a really popular myth about motivation. Most people think it's going to get bigger during a goal. They think if I start here at the beginning, Q1, January, it's only going to get more exciting. I'm only going to lean into it harder. I'm only going to get more fired up. And we think that's how it's going to go. And sometimes what happens is because of how we think about a 30-day goal. Let's say you had an annual goal. You had an annual goal, and I said, well, let's break it down into 30-day chunks. Walk me through the beginning, the middle, and the finish. If we had 30 days, tell me how many days you think the beginning will be, and the middle, and the finish. Now, most people say, you know what? The beginning will be days 1 through 10. The middle will be days 11 through 20, and the finish will be days 21 through 30. And that feels right, doesn't it? 30 days, 3 segments, 10 days each. That makes sense. Unfortunately, that's not how it goes. Usually, the beginning is day 1. The middle is days 2 through 29, and the finish is day 30. You're laughing right now because you know that's true. Every goal has a whole lot of middle. Why? Because on day 1, it's a wish, it's a desire, but on day 2, the work shows up. When we studied when people quit their goals, the most popular day to quit your goal wasn't day 10, wasn't day 15, wasn't day 20. It was day 2. Day 2 was the biggest dropout. And you see this happen across every type of goal. Right now, for instance, we're in a big bookstore. We're surrounded by books. Did you know that's one of the most popular forms of goals for Americans? In fact, according to the New York Times, 81% of Americans want to write a book. Do you know how many do? It feels like a lot right now, but do you know how many people actually write a book every year? Less than 1%. Is that not the craziest thing you've heard? 81% of people say they want to do it. Less than 1% do. What happens? Well, part of what happens is that when you announce a goal the wrong way, you're less likely to do it. If you go to a dinner party tonight and you tell somebody, you know what? I'm going to write a book. Do you know what they do? They pre-congratulate you. They go, oh my gosh, what a great goal. You're so brave. You haven't written a single page. You're already getting compliments. You already go, I am brave. I just felt like it was time for my voice to be heard, for my truth to be shared. Thank you for noticing my bravery. Again, you haven't written 10 words. You're already getting praise. And in that moment, your body reacts to the compliment. Your body reacts to the pre-congratulation, and it releases the neurotransmitter dopamine. Now, it's not a ton of dopamine, but it's enough that you get a little bit of a buzz. You get a little bit of encouragement, and you're less likely to actually do the goal. That's why you have friends that for 10 years have been saying, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start a business someday. I don't know when someday is coming, but they're not going to. Same with running a marathon. If you tell people I'm going to run a marathon, people go, good for you. You're so disciplined. I could never do that. So how do we get around that? Well, authors like Derek Sivers have talked about that for years. The difference is accountability versus affirmation. If you have a goal right now, say you're part of a team and you have a sales goal, you don't announce it. You don't say, I'm going to crush this, I'm going to do it, because then people are just going to clap and you won't actually do it. Instead, what you say is, hey, will you ask me once a week if I've done those 4 sales calls? Hey, will you ask me once a week if I've sent out the proposals like I committed to send out? You ask for accountability, not affirmation. So here's today's action. I want you to take out those 4 parts of your goal. I want you to take out your results. I want you to take out your timeline. I want you to take out your actions and your motivation. And I want you to make sure you have the size of each one correct. As you look at them, is there one that's overwhelming? Is there one that's inspiring? Is there one that's too much? Is there one that's not enough? Think about that as a sliding scale. I want it to be big. I want it to be challenging. I want it to stretch you, but I also don't want it to overwhelm you. So look where you are. Do you have a real sense of, okay, these goals are the right size? These are goals that it's going to be difficult for us to hit, but it's not impossible. These are goals we can lean into as a team. It's going to be challenging. We're going to try to grow. We might even try to double something, but we can do it, and here's why. You've got to make sure at the very beginning that you get the size right, or it's impossible to finish.
Okay. So,
Yes.
what we have enough room in here for seats if somebody wants to come in. I'm just saying, I like what I heard, and I can't hear voices. I can see typing, but our whole aim by sharing all of these videos and this type of stuff to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. And it's time to take it up a notch. And I know Brenna and Claudia were having a conversation about the construction when he was talking to construction. So I know things are, I'm waiting on the Facebook to catch up. Comments, questions?
Okay. I'd like to know if this video made you rethink your timeline.
Right. So I'm going to post this. I'm going to put this over there, and let's see if anybody wants to come in. And I don't know if everybody's camera ready, but whatever. I really I want us to be deeper in BizChix. You know, I don't like the little surface stuff. And I was talking with somebody today about that, you know, where, well, I'm doing networking, and can you come to my event? I go to your event and we do this back, and I was like, oh, can we just we want you all to have great information that's going to help you build and exponentially grow your business. So just want to know. Okay, Brenda says measurable goal by eliminating the results. Timeline. Okay. He talked about that fallacy, the planning fallacy, thinking that we're going to do more in less time.
Yeah, that we think we can just exponentially just get something done without building up enough momentum. Like running a marathon and you haven't even walked around the block. You haven't trained for this. You have to some goals you have to build up to.
I like the part about asking for accountability. Right. It did, ask me, did I ride every day last week? Ask me, did I swim every day or every other day or whatever I decided was going to be a part of my plan? Did I do that? You know what I mean? Did I write every day last week?
So you need an accountability buddy for your goal.
For your goal. So we talked about the beginning of this year, your top 10 goals. I would like all of you all to pick a goal from that top 10 list and apply what you've learned from these videos. Apply the results, putting down what your result was going to be, and apply. Okay, so you apply it. He talked about results.
Yeah.
Oh, and your timeline. Yes.
And then Brenda said, yes, planning fallacy. There's no way you can get more done in less time.
Correct. So there's you wrote out the result that you're looking for. Then there's the timeline, making it, fit the timeline. The actions that you're going to take, you already have those done. And then you know what your motivation is. Now he's asking you to get on your actions items, get an accountability buddy and somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Fran, did you ride the bike every day? Terry, did you swim every day? Did whatever that goal was on your thing, on your top 10 list?
And did you make an adjustment if something is interfering with that?
Right.
Like, okay, so I can't go outside to walk like I used to, like I was doing, and I can't get in the pool. So now what are you doing, Terry?
And so you're using the walk at home program. Did you do the walk at home program at least 3 days last week?
No. And I, you know what I'm saying? See? So the question becomes, who are we accountable to?
Right.
If we're just accountable to ourselves, then the chaos sneaks in.
Right. So I'm challenging everyone in here listening on the replay, find accountability buddy and
for your goals.
For your goal, or one goal. It doesn't have to be for every one of your top 10 for the year, but find the right accountability buddy for whatever goal is most important to you right now. And I think that sums up our conversation for the day. Thank you, Jerry.
Hanging in here, ladies.
Yeah, we look forward to next week. We'll get part 3. We'll do part 3.
All right.
So enjoy your Monday, the last Monday of the month. And so first Monday is coming up next week.
Yes.
We're going to have Linda Nance from Gotta Be Handmade. She'll be joining us as a guest. And we want you all to come in, if you want to have a seat, let us know so we can hear what you got going on and see if there's a way that we can help you with whatever you're working with as well. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in live and on the replay. We are going to
see you later, ladies. Bye-bye.
All right. And don't forget
to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. Bye-bye.